Hey, Jason here, and in this video I just want to tell you a few things I like about the Citroen e-C4, because I've done a video previously on things I don't like, so this time I wanted to throw it around the other way because it's not fair otherwise, right? Because actually there's more to like about the Citroen e-C4 than there is to dislike. So let me just start off with a few things. I've actually picked like the hottest day of the year to do this video, and I've had to turn the air conditioning like right down, otherwise you won't hear me with the fans blaring. So I'm suffering for this video, guys. I hope you understand. So what do I like about this car? Well, the interior. Let's start with the interior. Previously, I had a Peugeot E2008, and I thought the interior of that was really cool. It was very kind of sporty, you know, like a cockpit almost. It kind of wraps around you, very rounded feel, and it was really nice. But this car just feels a little bit more quality, a little bit more spacious and open, and so yeah, just gives an overall feeling of a bit more quality. Also, what may be something to do with that, I suppose, as well, is the fact that it's got leather seats in this car, which the Peugeot did not have. But that brings me on to the seats. The seats in this car are very comfy, really comfy. They've got these kind of ripples to them, which are supposed to be good for your back. And I've driven this, I probably in one day I've done a couple of 100 miles in this car, and it, you know, is very comfortable car. So I recommend it from a comfort point of view, which is one of the things that other people mention. When I first drove it, I was expecting to be floating on clouds or something, and I didn't find that. Like, if you go over bumps, you know, like I'm about to go over a few now, you still get a thud come through, but it's not as, you know, prominent as it was perhaps in some of the other cars I've driven on my channel. So I do think it's fair to say that yes, it is, comfort is one of its best assets. Then also the exterior of the car. I always enjoy walking up to this car and looking at it because it's a beautiful looking thing. This particular colour, I forget which grey it is now, the technical colour name for it, but it's, I think it might be platinum. I think it's platinum grey. I think it looks really good in that colour. Very nice. Good for guys, I suppose, really. And also there's another colour, I think it might be cumulative grey or something like that. It's like a lighter colour grey, and that also looks very good. That was the one I wanted, actually, but the company that I get this car from, which you've probably heard about before if you've watched my videos, is On2. You just subscribe to the car, so you don't lease it for like 2 years or something. You just say, oh, I need a car, and then you just get one 2 weeks later from them, and they'll give you, they've got a whole range of like these, you know, this Citroen e-C4 Shine Plus, or they've got the Shine, or they've got, you know, Renault Zoes, they've got Audi e-trons, all sorts, Teslas, everything. And you can just have them on a month-by-month basis. There's a link underneath the video if you want to find out more about them, and also a £50 coupon that will get you £50 off your first month subscription for the car as well, so do use that. But yeah, so I like the colour of the car, I like the exterior design of the car. It looks a little bit like a Mercedes, one of their cars. I saw it the other day and I thought, I'll make a note of the model of that car, because it's the way the back comes down. And so yeah, I think it's a good looking car. Mine's slightly less good looking since the windscreen cracked, and with the heat it's continued to keep cracking, and auto glass are coming on in a couple of days time to sort that out, thank goodness. So otherwise it's not very nice driving around with that. I quite like the head-up display, but not always, and in all honesty, most of the time, for just general driving around, you know, my local area where I'm very familiar, where speed cameras are, where everything is, I don't really feel the need for a head-up display. And it does, you know, have a screen, as you may have seen in my other videos, where like it goes bzzz, it comes up, and then you've got this screen in front of your windscreen, and it's a little bit distracting. I much prefer it when companies just project onto your own windscreen and it's just part of your normal vision, than this extra thing that goes in front. But anyway, we're here to talk about things I like. So, but I do like that that head-up display for a journey, because it's quite good for the sat-nav. It tells you which way you're going next and things like that. Steering wheel's really comfortable as well. I really like the steering wheel in this car, but that kind of fits in well with the whole interior that I like too. And one thing that was really surprising on this was the kind of aids, the driver assist, the steering, because this car can steer for you. I'm on a dual carriageway now, and this car can steer on the dual carriageway for you, just like the Tesla can. But I actually think it is better than the Tesla at doing that. You can have your hands, you're supposed to have your hands on the wheel at all times, but the Tesla will remind you of that if you're not touching it properly. The Tesla will remind you, I think, off the top of my head, it was like 20 odd seconds or something like that. But this car does quite a lot longer, so you can be going along and you don't get as many reminders to do it. And it does a really good job of keeping you in lane. I've got to say, in all honesty, I am a Tesla fan, but this just shows you that, you know, Tesla are really pitching their tech all the time as being the unique selling point. You know, it's like got all of the stuff, the radars, all this, that and the other, cameras and everything. But I think other cars are doing a pretty good job of that. Just the basics, you know, keeping you in lane, so lane assist, and also adaptive cruise where they're staying away from the car in front to the degree that you set with the controls. I think this car's really good at that. It doesn't offer you the ability to use the lane assist as often as the Tesla does. So for example, I'm now on an A road, and if I went to try and use it on here in this Citroen, it would probably say it's not available, whereas on the Tesla it would be. I know, because I've been down this road in the Tesla Model 3 Performance many times, and it's fine. It will do that, and then it will get to the roundabout and then freak out, and then you take over. But so that was a surprise as to how good and confident I felt using that lane assist with this car. Other than that, I think the back's quite spacious, the boot's nice, it's perfectly fine for my dog. Again, another video you'll see me try out with my dog in the boot, and she's perfectly happy in there as well. She's a Vizsla, that's a medium-sized kind of dog, like I'd say like a collie or something, a better known breed, maybe a tad bigger. So she's happy in there, and there's plenty of room. So, and the screen here is good. It's at high definition. The stereo seems to work well. This particular one, being the Shine Plus, has a subwoofer, which I like. Just gives a bit more depth to the music. You know, obviously with the Tesla Model 3 Performance that I had, that was a great stereo. I forget how many speakers they've got in there, but it's a lot. It's like 13 or something with the subwoofer. So this hasn't got that, but the sound's pretty good. And you know, the controls are quite nice to use on the steering wheel. Again, I prefer the steering wheel controls to the Peugeot E2008. For example, with cruise control on that car, you've got to find the stalk, which is controlling all of that, but it's behind the steering wheel and you can't see it when you drive it. So you better know off by heart how to use it. Whereas in this car, you know, all you've got is your indicators and your windscreen wipers behind the wheel, and everything else is on the front of the wheel. So you've got full control over all of that there. And the other thing I like about this car is the fact that they have gone for traditional air conditioning controls. So you can quickly and easily just go bing, bing, twist the little dial, and then you can get the exact temperature that you want, put it on auto. Like all the basics of buttons. So there's not tons of buttons in this car. They've done a good job of sort of minimalizing it a little bit, just like Tesla do, but not to the level that they do. And I see quite a few car manufacturers are doing that now. They're just putting back in the big main ones. You like your aircon and your kind of front and rear windscreen heaters or things like that. You just sort of basics that you just want to quickly grab and don't have to figure out on the screen how to do it. So I like that about the car too. You know, I'm not going to say anything about the drinks holders. You've probably heard about it already, but they are annoying, and that's it. But I like the armrest as well, which I didn't find out for about 2 weeks of driving this car, that you can slide it forward. So I always thought to myself, it's nice to have the armrest here, but it's quite far back. And it turns out that actually you can just grab the front and whoosh, slide it forward. So that's a nice touch too. So overall, I really like this car, this Citroen e-C4, and I'll be sad to see it go next week. My next car is going to be a Vauxhall Mocha in a similar colour, and which has got similarities because they're both, the parent company is the same. So I think it's got the same gear selector controls, the same screen, all sorts of stuff, same software. So it won't be too dissimilar, but it'd be interesting to drive that. But if you're thinking of having one of these cars, one of these Citroen e-C4s, I recommend them. And I also recommend, if you want some flexibility, we never know now, like with the cost of living going up and everything else, then maybe it's good to have a car and subscription that you can just get rid of if you're having a tough time, instead of being locked into a 24-month or 36-month agreement to lease one. With On2, everything's built in, so you're going to get like your insurance included in that as well, and your charging. They give you all these charging cards to charge the car up. Also breakdown cover, not that you're going to need that, and then, you know, tax, MOT, all of that stuff is all taken care of. So you've got kind of trouble-free, worry-free motoring. And if things go a bit pear-shaped for you, you know, with your money, you lose your job or something, you just give it back. So really, really simple. You just, you know, it's a month-to-month thing, which I really like the flexibility of that in this day and age. So that's it, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Probably should have said that ages ago in my video. And do tell me if you've got one of these cars. I want to hear from you what you like about it. What's your favorite thing about it? Because I know there's a few of you now that have got one of these. Just put them underneath in the comments, and let's share and help everybody find out more about this car. All right, that's it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon.